Shaky. Good evening, YouTube. Kelly Renee Miller here, and on today's Nerdbyte, fan activism is an awesome thing. I'll link to a Mary Sue article that links to a video and several other articles that the Harry Potter Alliance has been in a 4-year struggle/debate with Warner Brothers Pictures to stop the production of chocolate made with child slave labor as it relates to Harry Potter. So anything with Harry Potter's name made with child slavery, this is what the Harry Potter Alliance has been fighting against with Warner Brothers and just fan activism in general, because child slavery is awful. All slavery is awful. And to make chocolate? No. Well, earlier this week, possibly yesterday, Warner Brothers announced that by the end of this year, 2015, all Harry Potter chocolate, should be all Warner Brothers chocolate, but all Harry Potter chocolate will be UTZ certified fair trade, made by people that are old enough to work and getting paid a decent wage to do it. And that's a huge victory. It's good to see that I feel like nerds like us can get kind of a bad rap for being so overly focused on the fantastical and what's not going on, that to see fan activism create such a real change, and to just unashamedly and fearlessly go up against a huge studio like Warner Brothers, and just by declaring we think this is wrong. I think this is an appropriate subject for Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day. He's a man with a dream that feel like now we're actually farther from the fruition of his dream than we were a decade ago. Three steps forward, one step back. Still a step back. We can do better. We just can, as human beings. And we need to. We've each only got one shot at a life. Why are we spending it telling others it's not worth it? It's not worth it. Why are we spending it ending others' lives? What right do we have? We don't. I read a statistic recently that the U.S. has spent $174 billion on warfare. Government spending on the military and whatnot in the last 10 years. And that same infographic stated that it would take $7.3 billion to wipe out poverty completely. I'm not saying it's not good to form alliances and have groups and identify as the peoples of a nation and be proud of where you're from and where you're going and what you're doing. I don't see why any of that has to be in opposition to anyone else's standpoint on that. Unless your standpoint is one like Adolf Hitler, where he says, kill all the peoples that do not look the way I think they should look. I do not look the way I think people should look, but ignore me because I'm the one fronting this movement. The Heil. It's bad. We can do better. A friend of mine posted a comment, interesting comment, that American Sniper, nominated for tons of Oscars, 8 I think, saw its limited release on Christmas Day to make it into this round of Oscars, and had its wide release on January 16th. Selma, about Martin Luther King, Selma, Alabama, had a went wide or limited release on January 8th. That was when it was first getting screened, and I think if it didn't go wide that same day, it went wide the 16th. He made an interesting point. A movie, I've not seen American Sniper yet. I do not know this man's story. This is purely looking at the facts of what a sniper's job is. So a movie glorifying the killing of people is not only more critically lauded, but is set for release right up against right up against the true story. They're both true stories, right up against the true story of a man who so adamantly opposed violent conflict and struggle. What do you think? I'll link to the article in the description. Happy Martin Luther King Day, and y'all have a great night.